starting.
I'd like to call the meeting, Board of Commissioners to order, please. And please rise. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody to, once again, the July 12th Board of Commissioner meeting. Roll call, please.
Gross.
Present?
Fulgren.
Present.
Fosberger.
Present.
Sykes.
Present.
Overmeyer.
Present. Open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers, on the wall in the hallway outside our chambers, and is also on the website. Proof of publication was in the News Times July 7th. It was also on our website. Next, we need to review and approve the minutes of the June 28th Board of Commissioner meeting. You should have had those emailed.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Thank you, gentlemen. Any discussion? Roll call.
Fosberger.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Fulgren.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes, and also adopt today's agenda.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Jack.
Second.
And Kurt, any discussion? Roll call.
Sykes.
Yes.
Fulgren.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Fosberger.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes. Officials forum. Harv, you got anything?
No, I don't have a whole lot. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Harv.
Morning.
Basically, we're hauling gravel, blading roads, fixing a few bad spots, and that's kind of sums up what we're doing with the roads. The Benedict shop is being built, the framework's up, the walls are up. If everything goes well, he's gonna put a roof on it today. And there's kind of the update of the road department of where we're at.
A while back, Harv, you'd mentioned something about getting in line on a patrol, a motor grader. Are you still?
Yeah, we're gonna have to put it out for bids. I just thought of it in here that we need to get that rolling so we can get the bids taken care of, because the state bid hasn't been approved for anything yet. Looked at a vehicle on the state bid, and they only had 3 vehicles on the state bid period. So I don't know where things are going.
Okay.
Yes, I will get that started, get it rolling forward, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll get, you're getting into the budget time of year too, and we have the year end now, I believe also, so.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have anything of Harvey?
Just like we talked this morning, rain always shows us new places, so glad to hear we're
Yes.
hauling gravel and we'll take care of
Yes.
those places.
Slow rains are awesome for crops, they just make our roads stink, so. All right,
Good.
Okay, thank you. Lori, did you have anything in official form?
Yes, just quickly to let you, keep you updated on the care manager. Jerry McNeil retired a couple weeks ago. We've had it advertised since the 1st of June, and we had one applicant one inquiry, they did not apply. We've had 5 applicants, none of them met the minimum requirements. So there will be a bunch of overtime between me and Carla trying to get that covered until that position is filled. So just wanted to update you on that. And that's one we're filling it at a 30-hour position for that. We're requesting a program support, aging program support position at full-time. And then 9 hours would go down to 50% aging and 50% transit. So it'd go down in aging to go on the program support person, and then hiring a dispatcher, which is in the budget request I submitted, but just wanted to update you with the care manager.
Would it be worth reaching back out to this
I did.
inquirer?
I
Okay,
did,
ask if they had any questions or anything like that?
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, there were a number of reasons.
Okay, all right, thanks, Lori.
Thanks.
Any other officials? Gary, did you have anything this morning?
No, Judge.
Okay.
No, Randy.
I do have the gavel, that is right, I appreciate
You
that.
do have a gavel.
Tristan?
Yeah.
This is, well, he'll introduce himself here.
Yeah, I am the new diversion, juvenile support, and truancy. I'm replacing Rochelle, and just started back June 13th, so I've kind of been going with it, and
And then, just your name then to
Tristan Perry.
Perry, there we go. It was eluding me, so sorry.
Yeah,
How do you spell your last name?
Perry.
All right.
So he was a hire. Gary said it was, I believe, Gary's first week with us.
That's
and
correct.
He was in on that hire, and he stopped down at the shop this last week and visited with me a little bit. And I thought it'd be a good idea for him to come and get in front of us like Rochelle did. And if anybody had any questions, and at least we know who the face is if we
Yeah.
see some emails, so. Did you have anything else to add, how it's been going so far?
Yeah, I mean, just learning all the grant information, stuff like that, and got a couple people on the diversion program, so it's going good so far. But other than that, just getting to know everything. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Anybody have any questions, comments, anything like that? Okay, well, told you it'd be easy. I didn't think it'd be this easy, but thanks for coming in this
Yeah, of
morning.
course.
If you need anything from us, you know where we're at, or definitely where I'm at.
Awesome.
All right, thank you. Okay, any other officials? I don't see any other officials. So now we'll move on to public forum. Looks like we got a fairly full house for that this morning. Anybody that wants to speak, they sure can for a couple minutes. We just ask that you state your name as you come to the table, and we'll go from there. So who wants to go? Does anybody want to go? Maybe I misspoke. Oh, we got hands going up. Morning.
Good morning. I'm Marlon Ripple from Cool Junction, and part of the EDF project, they have some ground signed up with that. Want to encourage you guys to lay that thing to rest and not worry about it. I don't know why the opposition is so worried about what we are doing. They're not worried about other things in our life and why this thing becomes an issue at all. When you own the ground, you should have the right to plant cucumbers or tomatoes or whatever you want to do with that. Or you plant corn, or you plant beans. We are in need of energy as a country. Maybe this will work, maybe this won't work. But we're trying to solve problems, and you worry about taking 2,500 acres out of production. We've had a lot more acres than that taken out with hail. And not everybody seems to be worried about that situation. That's a lot bigger deal than what this is. And I think you guys got other things to discuss and to deal with. I would encourage you to tell the opposition to lay it to rest and let things work themselves out. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlon.
Yeah, I'm Larry from McCool. I wanted to address the hail issue that everyone was worried about the panels breaking. So, the glass, I went to the research and found out what's inside, what makes up these solar panels. So the outside glass would be more like your windshield on your pickup, where it would have the plastic film inside of it, so it doesn't just shatter little pieces and go everywhere. You know, you could beat a hole through it with a hammer or something like that, but it's not going to. Secondly, I talked with a project manager for solar fields and stuff for the U.S. Coast Guard and asked him what the makeup was of them. There's nothing in those panels that is granular or flowable, liquid, nothing. It's all in solid state form. It's like circuitry. And I explained the problem that kind of got addressed. They were just worried that this might be toxic, and he said, well, if you're afraid of that, he said, make sure you go throw your smart TV out and get it in the landfill, because the same thing's inside of it, the same type of materials. So that kind of lets that rest. And there is a guy in town that has a nice solar thing up for his own personal use in his house. It's pretty good size. And I went and looked at it, there's no cracks in it or anything. It was a pretty good hailstorm we had. The other thing, I guess I'm kind of a little bit like Marlon, I'm a little bit confused why people feel that I don't have any say on my ground and they do. I mean, I don't have any say on their ground, and they wouldn't like this any better if I started running my mouth about them any better than I like it. And I'm really, just kind of confused on this. And I keep hearing this deal about our precious farm ground. And if you go over here to the next window over and look my ground up, there won't be no our, it's mine. It's my wife's and mine. That's the only names that's on it. And I don't know where people get this, that this is their thing. Also want to state, and then I'm gonna shut up because you gotta give somebody else a chance to talk here. But all the time, been a dirt mover all my life, and all the time we pushed pastures down and that, all I ever heard was, well, that never should have been done. That ground shouldn't have been farmed, that was too rough, it just should have been done. And now it's precious irrigated farm ground and shouldn't have anything but corn or beans on it. I'm gonna leave this alone.
Thank you, Larry.
Yep.
Yeah. On those glass panels that you're talking about being broke, I
Yeah.
have a sunroom on the back of my house, and it's got argon gas between the panels,
Uh-huh.
and they're very difficult to get. I'm sure that this company can come up with them, so that's not really a problem that wise.
Uh-huh.
But they are expensive panels to replace, I guarantee that, because I got two broken
Yeah.
ones. They're guaranteed for life if the company's still around. If the company's not around, you'll
Yeah.
have to find someplace to
That's-
buy them.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up. I think that, it's a possibility, but we as landowners brought that before them about hailstorms before we ever signed up, and they're just like farmers should be. We hope they all did, bought insurance, and they say they're well insured for that, so.
Well,
It is or it isn't, but at any rate, I guess,
I agree with you totally. I'm just
Yeah.
pointing out, I have insurance on my house too.
yeah,
And,
but if you can't get it, you can't get it.
and if you can't get the glass, you can't get the glass. So
Yeah.
we'll
And I
see what
think
my
that-
insurance does about it.
I think that, and everybody's worried about this thing, if this thing would go south, oh my God, they're gonna abandon it. No, if it would go south, first of all, they would try to sell it, just like your ethanol plants. They all went belly up when they built them too, but they've all been sold how many times? But I guess, let's just say that something before, in the transition of my own ground we're talking about, that they're getting ready to do this construction, they get in there, and I sell my pivots off, and it was be my problem that I'm not gonna expecting a whole lot of money out of them, because there'll be a lot of them on the market, and I don't have any place to store them. Okay, so they get this thing all started, and then all at once they say, you know what? We decided we're not gonna use your ground. Now, that's gonna bend me buying new pivots, because that's gonna be a little pricey. But, that's my risk, and as a guy once said, everybody should have the opportunity to go broke if they want to, so.
Good luck.
Okay, anybody else this morning want to speak? Good morning.
Morning, Russ. Randy. I'm Paul Weiss, and I really don't want to speak. First of all, I need to clarify. I work for the Dorchester Farmers Cooperative, and what I'm going to say here has nothing to do with the co-op, their employees, management, or it's mine, it's my own, so I don't want somebody writing or saying that I'm representing them. And also, I'm on the NRD board, and I just talked to them there, and they said it was all right. What I'm gonna say has no bearing on them either. It's my own personal thoughts. I debated about coming in. I guess I'm ground zero with this thing. My farm is where the substation is at. And I've wanted to stay out of this dog and pony show. I haven't been wanting to come to any of this stuff because I just don't like to fight or make enemies. And I don't get the York paper, but I've read some things that I just have been bothering me a little. One of the statements in the paper by you people was, we need to buy locally. And I guess that came from you. Can I call you by your first name, Bill? What vehicles do you drive? What kind of a vehicle do you drive, Toyota? That's not a local vehicle. Okay, so, and then another, I don't know if it was you, Jack, but it was stated in the paper that the McCool people had spoke. I think that was you that said that. I'm not sure. Because one of you said, and I thought to myself, have you guys been to a school board meeting to see if they're against it? Have you been to a town meeting to see if up until today, I don't know if anybody has actually spoke for it. It's everybody's been against it. But there's a lot of entities, well, not a lot, but the town and the school that are definitely pro for it. If you would go to their meetings, because like the school district, they're gonna, the way I understand it, they're gonna get over $700,000 a year in tax money. That's a lot of money for a small district like McCool. So you haven't heard from all the school district, or from the people from McCool. Daniel, you're worried about the money, you know, out of the area. Do you sell all your corn through the co-op?
Not all of it.
Thank you. That money doesn't come back to McCool, or come back to the co-op. Okay, so I'm just trying to say that there are alternatives to what you people have been saying. I've got it, and then, oh, there was one other thing. I don't know if I have enough maps for you guys. I didn't even know I had any extras. If I've got enough, you guys can each look at it. I think I do. The green areas, as I understand it,
Hang it.
yeah, are the people that are involved. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, no,
I
you
was looking
better.
at you.
The green areas, as I understand it, are the people that are interested in, that have got their names put down. And one thing that was in the New York paper also was that there's people that don't even live, most of them don't even live in the area. Well, if you look at this, I've been there all my life. Yeah, there's some that I don't recognize, but almost every green area is a farmer. So that's BS that there's a lot of them that don't even live in the area, because these are all, now there, like I said, there's some, I guess I can't speak for all of them. McGowan's, Weiss, Califf, Rempel, Hall, Friesen, Ittner Trust, Our Farm. Those are all people in this area. They're not out of state. Granted, there may be some people out of state, but these are the ones that are actually gonna benefit from it. And then I want to give you this, but this, I want you to pass around. It is not for public use. I don't want it in the paper. I don't want you people to talk about it. This is my personal per acre summary and the total lease summary. This will tell you how much I'm going to get over the life of the.
Paul, I will caution you, if you present that to the board, it will be public information.
Once it hits this table, someone can ask for it.
Just so you know. Okay.
I really appreciate people that are against this thing. They're also worried about my ground. But that right there is why I'm interested. I have kids, I have grandkids. And maybe in 40 years, that's on a 40-year projection. Maybe that won't be good, maybe that isn't high enough. But I can tell you right now, the money that they want to give me, my grandkids could possibly use that quite nicely, because I'm never gonna live to see it, I'm 70 years old. That is a substantial, to me, is a substantial amount of money. You know, maybe you people don't think it is, but I do. That's one of the big reasons I'm in it. And also, being on the NRD board, now like I said, this has nothing, the board did not. Do you know that we are in the area, and you talk about water, granted, 2,500 acres isn't gonna be a big deal for safety in that, but if you wanna, I like to go off of science, or God, whatever, and I don't like to talk if I don't know what I'm talking about. This area has the highest rate of pediatric cancer in the state of Nebraska. Right here. You can go to the NRD and ask. Marie Crosnick can give you the answer. We're gonna have a study with the university. They've already come up with this. They wanna study us now, this area, to see if it's the water or what it is. Well, if you can eliminate 2,500 acres of water, of chemical, that would, you know, I'm not gonna say that would solve the problem, but it's a start. Because I can guarantee you, the NRD is, in my opinion, it's gonna get rough. Because people are getting tired of all the chemicals in the water. I think your brother's on the board. He'll tell you the same thing. So, and I really appreciate, like I said, I really appreciate the people that are so concerned about my ground, but I don't know where they're getting all of their, is it science that they're coming up with? I don't go to Facebook. I don't even have it on my phone. I hate that. Facebook is this poorest example, because that's all I hear is my wife read on there what people are saying. I could give a rat's patoot what they're saying on Facebook. I want proof. If you can't prove it, it isn't worth saying. And Facebook is the worst place to put anything. But I'm telling you there, I show you, I can halfway prove it. I don't know if they're gonna be good or bad, and if they, according to our contracts, if they pull up and leave, which I don't know what it would matter, we get a substantial payment for non-compliance on the contract. So it's a no-brainer for me, as you can see with the income especially, because like I say, my grandkids, but maybe in 40 years that amount won't be that big, but right now it's a pretty good amount. So I'm just saying, some of the stuff that you guys have said, it's true, but it isn't true. It stretches it. And some of the stuff that the opposition is saying really is stretching it. So you do as you want to do. It's not going to break me one way or another, but I just don't like all the negativity, and nobody has really come forward and tried to make a case for it. Do I think it's a good company? Hell, I don't know if it is. I've got a contract. Will they abide by it? I don't know. They're supposed to, it's a contract. Will they pull out in 10 years? I have no idea. They said they won't. Well, how, you know, I guess it's just, you either gotta trust the people that you work with, or you don't. So that's, I want that paper back. And I guess if it has to be public, that's fine, because that's, everybody knows it's $600 an acre the first year. That's the going rate. And if you want to figure out over 40 years, go ahead and figure it out. But I just wanted to point out what mine would be and why I'm kind of pro system. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
As Paul is, okay, got somebody stepping up already?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Hank McGowan, and I'm from Pool Junction, and I'm in support of the solar project. I own and operate a corn and soybean farm. We raise beef cattle, and with my dad, Jim McGowan. And I've lived there all my life, and graduated from Poole Junction Public, and I have a degree from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in animal science. I just want to start by saying that not everybody in opposition to this project is feeding propaganda or whatnot. Their heart's in the right place, and I respect them for being part of that. You know, I may disagree with them on this subject, but not everyone is opposed to this thing for the wrong reasons. They believe in their heart that this is something they need to protect against, and I just want to say that I respect that. They are my community members and are my neighbors, and a lot of them are good people. Paul is right. In a small town, there's always a certain level of propaganda that's, well, it's disappointing to say the least, but that's part of it, and I think we can get through that. And I will say that if I thought that this solar project was going to hurt anyone, I wouldn't be a part of it. I want you to know that, and I hope that my neighbors understand that also. One of the primary reasons that we signed up for this is, like Paul says, he's on the NRD board, and if you live in and around the Big Blue River Valley, water availability and quality are issues that are staring us in the face directly. If you are having water availability problems, drilling a new well may or may not solve your problem in that area. Sugar sand is an issue. There's not always good gravel within a couple miles of that river. And if there's not gravel, we have what we call sugar sand, and we can't filter the sand out of the water. So if you try to draw the water out of the ground, you just pump a cavern underneath the soil, and you'll fill your pump with sand and your pivot and everything else. So it is a definite issue in that area. The water quality, nitrates are increasing, water levels are dropping. One of the biggest reasons that we agreed to sign up for this is this solar project will directly address all of those issues. We will not be drawing groundwater out other than maybe to water a few animals if we use those irrigation wells, which would be a minimal amount of water. We will not be putting nitrates or any chemicals back into the soil. Once again, maybe just a minimal amount to maintain some weeds or shrubs or something within the solar project. And you know, I can't think of anybody in the county that would be willing to give me $600 an acre, increase that rent by 2% each year on top of itself. I mean, not interest like the bank figures it, it's interest compounded on top of itself. So the first year is $600, the next year is $612, the next year is $624, $648, and so on and so forth. So by the end of 35 years, it's doubled. Not only that, but they give the landowners first opportunity to maintain, or at the contracts to do the maintenance. For example, mowing, or if you're interested in raising livestock, they will allow sheep on those properties. And my dad and I are traditionally cattlemen. We did raise sheep at one point, and I hated it. And one of the biggest things I hated about sheep was the fencing, because we all know that this is corn country, and wherever you got to build a fence, it can't be farmed, which usually means it floods, it's jungle, it's creeks, it's really difficult to maintain fence. And you got to have a pretty good one to hold a sheep in, because high tensile fence, electrified, when their wool gets thick, they get out. And one of the things I understand that this solar project's going to do is they're going to put a 4-foot fence around all the projects, and that makes me pretty happy, because it'd be pretty easy to raise some sheep on these projects. And you know, without solar panels in this area, dry land pasture would maintain roughly 10 head of sheep per acre. I don't know what the yield would be with solar panels in place. Let's say half of that, but that's a lot of sheep in this area, and it's gonna create some jobs if people go that direction. It's gonna take a lot of people to maintain 25,000 head of sheep. And the co-ops are concerned they won't be selling fertilizer and chemicals, which I've just mentioned, but there's a really good chance they'll be selling more animal products and feed, and they're already geared up to do those kind of things. So I think it's something to consider. I don't think the co-ops and a lot of the places that sell animal or sell, farm products are gonna be left out in the dark. I just think they might have to shift gears, and like many of us are willing to do, we might have to shift from cattle to sheep in some of these properties. So I want you to know that it isn't a decision that we took lightly. I've been playing in the dirt since I was big enough to crawl, and I remember when I got too big to play in the dirt and actually start helping my dad. He brought several loader buckets and dumped in the holes I dug around the house when I was farming when I was a kid. So, this has been my life. This is what I'm good at, and I'm with Paul. I really didn't want to come forward today. This isn't what I like to do. This isn't my cup of tea. I don't enjoy politics in any way, shape, or form, but I think that it's important that I'll let you guys know why we signed up for this, because I think it could help our school. The revenues, from what I understand, are going to be roughly $3,518 per megawatt. A 310 megawatt project would generate $654,000 a year, which is 60% of the gross that I understand our school district would be getting directly. And our school barely made it 20 years ago. We all overrode the tax levy at a time where it really wasn't conducive for agriculture to be doing something like that. It was a pretty rough time, 2003, 2004, grain prices were pretty miserable. We did what we could to protect our school, and we saved it. I understand, I'm not on the school board, but I understand that they're cutting our state aid significantly each year. And $654,000, if you take that into the $2.8 million budget, approximately, that's 23% of the school's budget each year that this solar project will generate in revenues additional to the tax revenues that we're already paying. And I just had an old boy that, when I started farming, was a real close friend of my dad. And he said to me, when I started, he said, young man, you're gonna get about 2, maybe 3 opportunities in life to make a lot of money. And he said, it's gonna be about it. And he said, you be sure to save some, because those opportunities are rare. The older I get, the more I understand that. And some of the hardships I've had in this business, and some of the tough times, and some of the things I've had to deal with taught me one thing, and that's to grab a golden goose when I see one, and there aren't many. And like I say, if I thought it was going to hurt anybody, it wouldn't do it. It's a little difficult for people in support of this to come forward, because you can feel like you're rooting for the away team at a home game. But I don't think these people are going to hurt anybody. I will say that they've been about as ethical as a corporation I've ever dealt with. And we deal with some pretty big companies in agriculture, and I can't say all of them have been real ethical to deal with. I'm not going to go into that. But we do own a significant amount of property in and around Sachs Lake area, and some populated areas in rural McCool Junction, and I know they weren't interested in most of those properties due to the number of houses in the area. They're trying to stay away from that, and I think it's unavoidable in a handful of instances, and that's unfortunate. And I feel for a few of those people, and I think that they will address those people. I feel pretty strongly that they're going to work with them. I spoke with a number of people in the Milligan area, a banker that I know pretty well, and I asked him, they set up the wind farm down there. I asked him, what's his company like to deal with? And he said, in many instances, absolutely great. They're really, really good. He said, we do have an employee in the bank. And there was about 3 windmills out of 147 that I thought were poorly placed. He said the rest of them, I thought they did an excellent job. They worked with people. There were 3 that were poorly placed, and one in particular was a person that works in the bank, and he said, that one's across the fence, it's not on her property, it's too close to her property. He said, I've been on her back porch, and he said, it's loud. When we tried to get him to move it a quarter mile down the road, he said, I won't say that it was EDF, or if it was the contractor that was putting it up, they weren't willing to move that windmill. And he said, other than that, he said, I thought they did an excellent job. He said, I was a little disappointed in that one, and I don't know exactly why they wouldn't move it. But he said, other than that, they were excellent to deal with. They paid people, and he said, I really can't say enough good things about it. You know, that spoke volumes to me. And I just wanted to let a few of you know, if you have any questions or anything, I can leave my number. But like I say, I hope it goes through, and I hope I'm not rooting too hard for the away team. So, thank you.
Thank you, Hank. Anyone else would like to speak this morning during public forum? Okay, seeing none, then I guess we're gonna move on. Review and approve the payroll and vendor claims. We have 3 additional claims. Leela was out, I believe earlier the week, so she has 3 claims that will come out of her 2910 fund, which is 6521, 1051.28 for Windstream, and 625.08 for Verizon. These are claims that she inadvertently didn't get turned in time, so she asked if they could be added to that. So those will be added to the claim list. Anybody else have any other questions? I see anything?
Move to approve the payroll and vendor claims and the additional claims as presented.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Holgren.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Bosworth.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes. Lori, what time did you have to get someplace?
9:30.
Okay, let's go ahead and handle yours, and then we'll do the general assistance quick. So discuss an act on a subward between City of Lincoln and York County. First, and this is something that Gary did have an opportunity to review and said everything looked good on it. Lori, this is one that we do
Every year.
on
It's
an
with,
annual basis.
And it's an
Okay.
annual award. It's the money that they share that they give to us to help our aging service program. Sorry, my throat's.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's one that we use to provide services to the community,
Okay.
aging services.
And so does that one just need the chair signature?
And the county clerk's signature as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
And I've got a copy that has a little flag on it for where it's at.
Okay.
And then the second one is for the care management. It's the service.
We'll take care of this one first.
Okay.
We got two different
Yep.
items here on the agenda. Anybody have any questions of Lori as she is here? Said this is an annual, everybody should have had that in front of them.
Mr. Chairman, on the recommendation of our aging partner director and the county attorney, I would move that we direct or authorize the chairman and the clerk to sign the sub-award.
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you, Jack. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Gross.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Bosworth.
Yes.
Holgren.
Yes.
and Overmeyer.
Yes. And then the next one is discuss an act on a service contract agreement, Aging Partners Care Management.
That's the one that brings down the $10,000 that hopefully in the future we can get them to bring down more.
Right.
So, and that's
Same way, just a
Same way.
chair sign. And
chair
this
and
one,
the county
Yes.
clerk.
and this one also was reviewed by Gary also. County attorney, I should say. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
make a motion to approve the service contract agreement for Aging Partners Care Management.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Second.
And thank you, Jack. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Augsburger.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Holgren.
Yes.
Peppermark.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lori. We'll get these signed and yeah, they'll be back in Kelly's office. Okay, so now we will go back up and I need a motion to go into executive session at this point in time for a general assistance case.
So move at 9:11 to protect needless injury to an individual and to discuss general assistance case.
Thank you, Kurt.
Second.
Thank you, Jack. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Holgren.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Augsburger.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Yes. Gary, you're more than welcome to stay in here with us if you'd like. Being county attorney, you are privileged. I think I got the one to sign, so you can keep that one.
Okay.
Unless there's more information.
We are presenting to the world once again.
The owl has awoken. There?
Ah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, those do look nice up there.
You guys come back here.
We meet.
There's one with your name on it.
I know, I see
Come-
that.
Come join us.
Just gotta move his stuff.
A little scared of Randy. That's why I called him judge.
I need a motion to come out of executive session at 9:22 where no action was taken.
So moved. Second?
Thank you, guys. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes?
Yes.
Rhodes?
Yes.
Baldwin?
Yes.
Osberger? Overmeyer?
Yes, and then we also need a motion on case 22-6, a general assistance case for cremation.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve general assistance case number 22-6 for cremation and authorize the general assistance administrator to seek assets if any exist, to help defray the costs of this case.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Baldwin?
Yes.
Osberger?
Yes.
Sykes?
Yes.
Rhodes?
Yes.
Overmeyer?
Yes. Okay, that takes care of that one. We're down to discuss an act on drawdown number 4 for the owner-occupied housing project. And that is for Roof Aurea.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I assume it's a roofing company.
Mhm.
Which when we already do this in our vendors. This
Yeah,
was
but-
in our vendors,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But they need the minutes to show.
Yeah, yep. So we've already approved it, but we need to approve it again.
I won't put it in the vendors next time. I just have her do it. She has it, so.
Well, then, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion to approve drawdown number 4 for the owner-occupied housing project.
Thank you, Daniel.
Second.
Thank you, Jack. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Rhodes?
Yes.
Sykes?
Yes.
Osberger?
Yes.
Baldwin?
Yes.
Overmeyer?
Yes. Okay, and then we have discuss an act on designating a printer for the postcards to comply with LB 644.
Ask Kelly to put this on. I think you guys are all aware of 644. That's the, your legislature wanted to make sure that there was certain political subdivisions, county, cities, school districts, and community colleges, I believe, that if they raise taxes, they have to have a special meeting for taxpayers to attend in addition to the budget hearing that all those entities have to approve those budgets, to give the public an opportunity to question the board, learn more about why the board's made those decisions. Some specifics of those meetings, they have to be after, I think, 7 o'clock at night, can't be held during the daytime hours. It's the first year of doing this, so it's real murky for everybody yet as far as who's supposed to lead these meetings. However, what they do know is that the assessors in these counties are supposed to generate these postcards. If you go to the NACO website, they have in their catalog of slideshows and presentations they've made over the last year. There's a slideshow on these postcards and what information is supposed to be included on it and all that kind of stuff. One of the steps is we need to designate the printer for these postcards. And in talking with NACO, they have something set up with the state print shop, which I would recommend that be, at least this first year, we go that route just because it's they can handle this right now. In the future, if we want to go local, as it was discussed earlier, we can do that. But I would recommend that we designate the state print shop as the printer for our postcards to comply with the provisions of LB 644. I would make that a motion.
Thank you, Kurt.
Second.
Thank you, Jack. Any other discussion regarding this?
sounds like everyone's probably gonna, not everyone, but a lot of people are gonna be sending these postcards this year, so.
Roll call, please.
Holgren,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Osborne.
Yes.
Rhodes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we are just starting to look at some of the budget numbers and, yeah, we're gonna be there. I have a feeling we're gonna be there. That 2.5% is gonna be
Well, inflation just.
easy hill to climb this year. So anyhow, that takes us to the end of our, there's no reason for an executive session today. Would we miss one? Do we have some to transfer?
This should probably be coming in this month sometime.
The juvenile
Division.
diversion, yeah, that should be coming in, so we should be good typically. Or the 12th, that's usually in now, or
And the
coming.
15th, I think.
Yeah, so we should be good there. So should be up to committee reports.
Okay.
Anybody want to start? Anybody have anything to talk about?
Sure, I can start. Tech committee met last week, talked about moving forward on a website redesign, talked a little bit more about the county's IT management and how we wanna move forward with that. There was some discussion of, does York County qualify to hire an in-house IT management? Don't know that we're quite there, but it was a discussion. There's a company called TextMyGov that quickly, I guess, it's a company that public can text in for information, and then it's an AI that will respond to their text. They're wanting to do a presentation, so in the near future, the tech committee will listen to their presentation and see if it's anything that York County could benefit from. Leela and Josh looked at the website and thought that on the surface, maybe there was some things that could be beneficial, so we'll see. Don't know that it's anything that we'd move forward with, but at least worth reviewing.
Okay?